So we shall be starting from 1-8-20.
Did you say 18, Prabhuji? Text
I think
18?
let me just check. I'm just opening it. We finished till I think text 23. Yeah, text 23. So we'll start from actually 24, poison cake. Yeah, I think we finished till text 23. We'll start from text 24 today. मम ज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। So we'll continue reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, chapter 8, text number 24 onwards. विशान महात्मे पुरुषाद दर्शनात् असत्सभाया वनवास कृच्छ्रता मृदे मृदेनेक महारथास्त्रो द्रोणी अस्त्रश्चास्म हरेभिरक्षिता। My dear Krishna, your Lordship has protected us from a poison cake, from a great fire, from cannibals.
Prabhuji, actually we have finished this, Prabhuji, these cannibals and all. You told the story also, right? So we have finished this.
That's what I remember also. So text 25. Vipada santu tat shashva tatra tatra jagat guru bhavato darshanam yatsyan apunar bhavadarshanam. Translation. I wish that all those calamities would happen again and again so that we could see you again and again. For seeing you means that we will no longer see repeated births and deaths. So this particular verse is actually one of the very famous verses from Srimad Bhagavatam. Here Kunti Maharani is praying that, my dear Lord, let there be calamities. It's actually very revolutionary. I wish that all these calamities would happen again and again. So whatever calamities she mentioned in the previous verse, text 24, she's saying, let these calamities happen again and again. Now, where in the world, in which religion, they teach people to go and pray that God, give me more and more troubles, give me more and more calamities in life. It's practically unheard. Some closeness, some similarity, a very slight similarity of this was found in the teachings of Saint Francis in Christianity, but still very, very far from what Kunti Maharani is praying here. Saint Francis, one time he was walking. They were in Germany, so they were walking from one city to another city. So he had few followers, few disciples with him. So, and Germany, it was winter time, month of, I think, December, January, so very, very cold, a lot of snow. And temperatures were, almost like minus 50 Fahrenheit. So, in such a severe cold, they were walking from one city to another, because those days there was no transportation except, horse carriages. And they didn't have horse carriages. They were actually walking from one city to another city. So they were expecting to reach maybe around midnight, past midnight, 1:30 in the night. They were expecting to reach the monastery in that city where they were heading to. So they all were very cold. And Saint Francis started a conversation with his disciples. He said, "What do you think is the greatest mercy of the Lord?" And nobody really replied. Because he started conversation, so they knew that the reply will come from him also, but nobody replied here. So they walked a little ahead, and St. Francis said, "Some of you might think that, because it's so cold now, if we can have some warm shelter where we can have a little comfort to the body, that will be the great mercy of the Lord." And then he continued walking for some time. Sometimes you might think that God giving you a lot of wealth, lot of comforts of life, that is the greatest mercy of the Lord. But let me tell you, that is not the real mercy of the Lord. And then he continued walking. And again he said, you might think that having not only a lot of wealth, but a lot of association of a lot of beautiful women in the world, that will be the great benediction of the Lord. But let me tell you, even that is not the great mercy of the Lord. And he continued walking. That if the wealth of the entire world is given to you, and you become the king or the owner of practically the whole world, and everyone is at your command, everybody is at your service, let me tell you, even that is not the greatest mercy of the Lord. And then in this way he went on and on explaining how different facilities, different forms of enjoyment and sovereignty over the different parts of creation, that's not the real mercy of the Lord. Finally he said, so what is the mercy of the Lord? And then he starts narrating that, just imagine, we have been walking since morning, we are so cold, we reach past midnight to the monastery where we are heading to, and then we knock at the door, and somebody opens the door, and we tell him, brother, we are coming from this other monastery, we belong to the same mission of Christianity, we are coming from the other monastery, we are very tired and we need some shelter, please let us come in. And the person, St. Francis said, just imagine if the person, he gets very angry, he said, no, you don't belong to our Christianity mission, you are just hypocrites, go away, and he slams the door at us. And then with great anticipation, with great hope, you again knock at the door. And again, the person opens the door. Same person opens the door and he says, what now? And you say, brother, please trust us. We belong to the same mission. We are your brothers. We are your God brothers. Please let us come in. And he gets even more angrier. You are hypocrites. You don't belong to our mission. Go away. And he slams the door again and goes. And we again knock at the door. He again opens the door. Please, please, brother, we are so cold. Please, we belong to the same mission. Trust us, believe us. We are actually your God brothers. We belong to the same mission. Let us come in. And he gets so angry that he picks up the stick and starts beating us. He's beating us. It's so cold. We have been cold all over, whole day we have been traveling. And he starts beating us with the stick. We are rolling on the ground in pain, and he continues to beating, without showing any mercy or compassion. He continues to beat us. And that time, if you are thinking in the mind, my Lord, you are so merciful. That consciousness is the greatest benediction or greatest mercy of the Lord. Not the beating, but that consciousness that this is actually the mercy of the Lord is actually truly the mercy of the Lord. So just imagine, which tradition, which religion, or which temples or monastery or church or mosque you have been, where the priest teaches you should pray to God. I wish that all the calamities of this world would happen again and again in my life. Where? Nowhere. Nowhere ever anyone has heard such a prayer. This is prayer of Kunti Maharaj. She says, I wish all these calamities would happen again and again so that we could see you again and again. Because a devotee can actually see Krishna's hand in the midst of calamities. Krishna actually saved Pandavas from all the calamities and different difficult situations. Krishna was drawn, again and again he was drawn to Pandavas to protect them. To protect Draupadi, he appeared there in the assembly of Kurus and supplied unlimited sari to Draupadi. When Pandavas were in the forest and Durvasa Muni came with the 60,000 disciples, Krishna appeared. Krishna came from Dwarka. He was in Dwarka that time, but immediately Krishna appeared there. And accepting little, vegetable from Draupadi, he satisfied Durvasa Muni and all the sages. So in this way, Krishna was always drawn to Pandavas and Kunti Maharani to protect them from the calamities. Therefore, Kunti Maharani is saying, let the calamities come again, because calamities means you will be coming, you'll be rushing again and again to come near us. So we'll be able to see you again and again if the calamities come. If calamities bring God, if calamities bring Krishna in our life, a devotee is willing to welcome any amount of calamities or miseries. In text 26, Kunti Maharani says, Janmaishwara Shruta Shribhi Edamana Mahat Madapuman Nevahate Abhidhatum Vai Pamakinchana Gocharam. Janma Aishwarya Shruta Shribhi. My dear Lord, my Lord, your Lordship can easily be approached, but only by those who are materially exhausted. One who is on the path of material progress, trying to improve himself with respectable parentage, great opulence, high education, and bodily beauty, cannot approach you with sincere feeling. So, this is another beautiful prayer by Kunti Maharani. Here, she is giving a very important clue as to who can approach Krishna, who can approach God with sincere feelings. Because God can become visible, Krishna can become visible only to a person who with great sincerity approaches Krishna. So here Kunti Maharani is giving prayer. In this prayer, she is giving a clue who can actually approach Krishna sincerely. This Janma, Aishwarya, Shruta, Shribhi. 4 things are mentioned here. Janma means taking birth in a very respectable family, respectable or opulent or powerful country. That is considered Janma. Janma means to take birth in a very powerful place and powerful family. Janma Aishwarya. Aishwarya means opulences. Opulences means have a lot of wealth. So a lot of wealth means a lot of facility for sense enjoyment. So Janma Aishwarya. Aishwarya means to have a lot of opulences. And then Shruta. Shruta means Shrutis is considered the scriptures. So Shruta means one who's learned in the scriptural knowledge. And Shribhi. Shribhi means beauty. Shri actually has several meanings. Shri also means, beautiful. Shri also means wealth. Shri also means Lakshmi Devi. So many meanings. So here the word Shri is indicating to beauty, because Aishwarya is already indicated, which indicates wealth. So here the word Shri is referring to beauty. So Janma Aishwarya Shruta Shribhi, a person who is striving for high birth, to have birth in a very excellent family or country, and Aishwarya, opulences, Shruta, education or knowledge or learning, and Shribhi. Shribhi means beauty, physical beauty. Edamana Madapumana. So all these, all these are Mada. Mada means intoxicating. So all these 4 things are actually intoxicating. Puman. Human beings become intoxicated with these 4 things. Now, when a person becomes intoxicated, he speaks all kinds of crazy things. I'm sure everyone must have seen when a person is intoxicated, he speaks all kinds of crazy things. He'll speak bad words to his near and dear ones. He'll disrespect anyone and everyone. And nobody wants to be, at least sane people, they don't want to be near intoxicated people. Because they can do even great harm to you. I remember, in our family, one of my uncle, elder brother of my father, he had a habit of drinking. He used to drink very regularly. And once he would drink, he would drink till the time he gets intoxicated. And once he get intoxicated, he would go on and on speaking all the insults to all the brothers, to his own wife, to his own children, or sometimes he'll pick up on anyone in the family. He'll pick up sometime even the grandfather, who had already, gone from this world, grandmother. He would go on and on speaking all kinds of bad things, which had no truth or reality in it, but he would go on speaking bad words, bad things about everyone. And he would go on till 2 or 3 in the night. Of course, I was small, so I could never, of course, even when I grew up as a teenager, I have seen him. Once I go to sleep, I would never realize, but my father and mother, they would say that he was going on till 3 o'clock in the night. So one time he was, after drinking, he was, about to beat his wife or aunt. So my father intervened. Other brothers also came to intervene, but my father went and intervened. He said, no, you cannot do this. So he tried to stop him. He took the finger, the index finger of my father's hand, right hand, and put in his mouth, and he bit him so badly. He practically separated the finger. So finger was separated, and they took it to the doctor, and doctor somehow that fixed the finger. But my father could never, his finger was like this all life. He could never turn the finger or close the finger like this. All the time his finger was like this. He could never do it. So people, when they are intoxicated, they can be tremendously harmful. And a person who's drunk and intoxicated in that way, that intoxication doesn't last for more than few hours. That intoxication comes down. But the intoxication of these, Janma, Aishwarya, Shruta, and Shrivi, goes on for practically whole life. Or unless a person is separated from these opulences. Unless a person is thrown out of the family, he may continue to be very intoxicated and proud of his family until he's thrown out of the family. Similarly, a person who has actually a lot of wealth, he could be, equally intoxicated and mad, insulting everyone and anyone. So intoxication of these four things is cause of a person's fall down. Naiva arhati abhidhatum vai. She says, these people, they cannot achieve, they cannot actually approach you. Abhidhatum. Abhidhatum means, having some loving feeling or having some, good feeling towards the Lord. It's not possible for them. Why? Tvam akinchana gochara. This is actually very significant point here in this words. Tvam, Krishna, you are akinchana gochara. Akinchana means in Sanskrit actually means poverty stricken, or a person who doesn't have anything. No farthing, no money, nothing. Person who is very poor, he's called akinchana. And akinchana, gochara means the wealth. So Krishna, you are the wealth of poverty-stricken people. Tvam akinchana gochara. So it doesn't mean that people who are actually in poverty, they are going to be great devotees of Krishna. No. Because akinchana means a person here who does not possess any material opulences or anything material. Because the person who has any sense of some possession, then that person cannot approach Krishna with great love and feeling. Why? Because any sense of material ownership puts a person in the situation of being an enjoyer. When a person thinks this home is mine, then immediately start thinking this home is mine, that means this home is for my enjoyment. Anyone who's bothering me or hindering my enjoyment, get out of this home. I don't want to see your face. Okay. So the sense of proprietorship or sense of possessing something immediately brings the consciousness of being enjoyer. And a person who has the mentality of an enjoyer cannot approach Krishna. So here the word akinchana gochara means Krishna is the wealth of, or Krishna's possession of people who are devoid of any material possession. Now, this doesn't mean that a person has to be necessarily poverty-stricken. A person may be very wealthy like Yudhishthira Maharaj, a great king or emperor of the whole world. But in the mind, he knows, the person knows that nothing really belongs to me, which is not some artificial way of thinking. It's a reality. Nothing really belongs to us. I may have, some huge amount of money now. I may have nice homes, or many homes, nice cars, beautiful wife and nice children. Everything will be nice, but it's all temporary situation. I'll be kicked out. Just imagine, my father left this world. If my father left this world, I think that I will continue to live. I continue to live as if, death will not come to me. And the death comes, Krishna says, Mrityu Sarvaharash. I come as Mrityu to take away everything. Sarvaharash. Everything I take away in the form of Mrityu, in the form of death. So no matter what I have accumulated, whatever wealth, whatever knowledge, whatever, fame, whatever, relatives I have accumulated, everything is taken away at the time of death. All relationships finished, all wealth finished. I might have, created, say, Disney World in this lifetime because I had so much wealth, I created the Disney World. But once I'm kicked out of this body, next birth I take, to enter the Disney World, I have to buy a ticket. I cannot say, oh no, I am the one who created. Oh really? They'll kick you out, throw you out from there. So no matter, what I possess, it's only a temporary situation. I don't really possess anything. So devotee is conscious of this reality. I don't possess anything. Anything can be taken away from me at any moment. If you see the lives of, even wealthy people or successful people, you will see that pattern in life. Like even Steve Jobs, he created the success for the Apple, but at some point of time he was kicked out. He was kicked out, so, without any remorse or. But then they realized, oh, without him we are not able to have much success. So they again brought him back. So even while you are living in this world, you can be kicked out. You can be everything can be taken away from you. So devotee, in the mind, he always remembers this, that everything that I possess can be taken away from me at any time. And therefore, a devotee is always have the sense of not possessing anything. He knows that Krishna has given me this thing temporarily to use in his service. So let me use it in Krishna's service. So devotee does not have any attachment or sense of possessing anything. Because he knows I will be kicked out of the situation anytime. But unfortunate thing is, people, though they may see this around them, like, for example, I may have, a lot of success in my business and my business partners are in good terms with me. But when I hear about, oh, Steve Jobs was kicked out of his, company, I think, oh, that happened to him, it will not happen to me. No, but no, my partners will not do that. It can happen anytime with anyone. Srila Prabhupada gives example, that we can be kicked out from any situation at any time. He gives example that when a person sees, oh, my friend, he died, but I will not die. I will continue to live. It's like, in Bengal, there's a saying that the dry cow dung is being burned and wet cow dung is laughing at him. Look at you, you are being burned. Especially in India, they use the cow dung, cow dung patties, they dry it and then they use it in the oven for cooking. They use that cow dung patties for different purposes, especially in the oven and all. They use it, they burn it, cow dung. So the dry cow dung is being burned in the oven, and the wet cow dung is laughing. It's just see, you are being burned. Just wait, you will be also similar way dried up and burned. So no matter who I am, my father passed away, my mother passed away, my brothers are passing away one by one, my turn will also come. I will also die. I will also leave everything behind. So a person, especially he remembers this in the back of his mind. Therefore, such a devotee always remains in the position of akinchana. Akinchana means without any possession. So a person may be emperor of the whole world like Yudhishthira Maharaj, but Yudhishthira Maharaj was akinchana. He did not possess anything. He didn't have any sense of possessing anything. Therefore, Krishna was his wealth. Krishna was always eager to be on the side of Yudhishthira Maharaj. So this is actually the key. Kunti Maharani is giving a very valuable key of how one can approach Krishna with sincere and loving feeling. Go to text 27. Namo kinchana vittaya nivritta gunavittaye atma ramaya shantaya kaivalya pataye namaha. This is another beautiful prayer or beautiful words from Bhagavatam. Kunti Maharani is saying, Namo akinchana vittaya. Same thing. Akinchana means, impoverished. So materially impoverished is called akinchana. Vittaya. Vittaya means wealth. In the previous word, it was called akinchana gochara. Here she says akinchana vittaya. Namo akinchana vittaya. Oh Lord, my obeisance unto you, who are the property of the materially impoverished. You have nothing to do with actions and reactions of material modes of nature. Nivritta gunavittaye. You are self-satisfied. Atma Ramaya. Shantai. Therefore, you are the most gentle and our master of the monist. Kaivalya Pataye Namaha. So, in this verse, Kunti Maharani is calling Krishna by different names. Akinchana Vittaya, we already discussed, that Krishna is the wealth of poverty or materially impoverished people. Nivritta Guna Vrittai. Nivritta means to become free from, or to be, devoid of. That is called Nivritta. Nivritta Guna. So Krishna is free from gunas, material modes of nature. There are three modes of material nature: Sattva, Rajas, and Tama. And everyone in this world is more or less is controlled by these three gunas. So Krishna is Nivritta Guna. He is beyond the modes of material nature. And Atma Rama, he is completely self-satisfied. He doesn't depend on anyone for his happiness. Shantaya, he's always peaceful. And Kaivalya Pataye Namaha. Pata means Kaivalya Pataye. Pata means used in the sense of Pati or the master. So she says Kaivalya Pataye Namaha. You are the Pati of Kaivalyas. Kaivalya means those yogis who aspire for impersonal liberation. We go to next verse, text 28. Manne tvam kalam ishanam Anadi Nidhanam Vibhum Samam Charantam Sarvatra Bhutanam Yan Mitha Kali. My Lord, I consider your Lordship to be eternal time, the supreme controller, without beginning and end, and all pervasive one. In distributing your mercy, you are equal to everyone. The dissension between living beings are due to social intercourse. So here Kunti Maharani is offering this beautiful names. She's calling out different names of Krishna again. So she says, Manne Tvam Kalam Ishana. Ishanam. So Kala means time. So she says, my dear Lord, you are the eternal time factor. You are actually Lord of eternal time. Manne Tvam Kalam. And Kalam Ishanam. Isha means controller. So you are the controller of time. Or it could be also taken in that way that Manne Tvam Kalam. You are also personification of time. And Ishana. You are also the supreme controller. So Krishna is, Kala. Kala means time, who actually destroys everything and everyone in this world. As Krishna says also in Gita. Kalosmi lokakshakrita. And the time factor, and at the time I destroy everything in this world. And Ishana, everything is under the control of Krishna. Anadhi. Anadi means, Adi means to have some beginning. And Anadi means no beginning. So Krishna, you are Anadi, without any beginning. Like my life began from my parents. My father's life began from his parents. My mother's life began from her parents. So in this way, everyone has some beginning, some Adi. So my Adi is my father and mother. My father's Adi are his father and mother. My mother's Adi are her father and mothers. But Krishna is Anadi. Nobody created Krishna. Anadi Nidhanam. Nidhanam means, what do you call? End. So Anadi, without any beginning, and Nidhanam, without any end. So no, Krishna is not destroyed also. Not that Krishna created, therefore he is to die. Anything that is created at some point of time in this world has to die also, or destroyed also. Like Krishna says in Gita, Jatasya hi dhruva mrityu. Anything that is created must die or must be destroyed. Jatasya hi dhruva mrityu. Mrityu means destruction. So anything that is created must be destroyed. But Krishna is Anadi, he's never created. Therefore, Nidhanam. No Nidhanam also for. Vibhum. Vibhum means unlimited, all pervasive Lord. Samam charantam sarvatra. You are samam, equal, equally merciful to everyone. And bhutana yat madhyam kali. And last time she says the kali. Kali means the quarrel. Quarrel among people is due to midha. Midha means interaction. So some people accuse Krishna that Krishna created the war between Kauravas and Pandavas. So Kunti Maharani says no. The wars or dissensions between the living entities is due to social interaction. Krishna does not tell anyone to initiate war or to behave in any particular way. The living entities, being impelled by the three modes of material nature, they act in different ways. So especially the Kali, whenever the fire of war is taking place is due to contamination in the consciousness of living entities. Their consciousness is polluted, and therefore they try to create quarrels with others. So I think we will stop here. Text 29 onwards, we will discuss next week. So we will continue from text 29 onwards next week. Thank you very much. Yeah. If anyone has any